first contestant. I heard their speech, and I said, I can take him. And the second speaker came up, and I was like, this is the best the area got to offer. I'm gonna go far in this competition. But then they called another contestant. She came up, she had her hair wrapped up. She had these gargantuan earrings dangling from her neck. And she had the support of her adorable daughter in the audience, providing her all the love that anybody could ever aspire to have. And when they called her name, she didn't walk, she gracefully swagged to the front of the room. And she hypnotized us with her intellect and her wit. She seduced us with her charm and her likability. And she blew the competition away. Now meanwhile, I'm sitting back there doing my James Bond thing, thinking, yeah. And I was completely in awe. So I went home and I threw away that speech and I started writing all over again. Because I said, shit, if I gotta go against her, I'm in trouble. Since then, I have seen this young lady stir crowds in a frenzy with nothing else but her intellect and her essence. Of course, the person I'm talking about, is our guest speaker tonight, Miss Anita Amala Jones. Anita has been a motivational speaker, spoken word artist, writer, workshop facilitator, and teacher for over 20 years with appearances throughout the United States and in the UK. As an avid writer, speaker, teacher, and poet enthusiast, Amala, as she likes to be called sometimes, has performed at a wide variety of events ranging from community outreach events, church conferences, workforce development seminars, to weddings, graduations, anniversaries, and even federal observances. The girl's governmental, y'all. 9 years ago, Anita stepped away from the stage to start a family and develop the business aspects of performance arts. During that time frame, she manifested Inner Seeds of Pure LLC, a business geared towards producing and developing the seeds of inspiration and creativity within herself and others. Determined to provide a strong foundation and an example for her daughter, Anita understood the importance of education and giving back to her community. Within only 2 years, she didn't get but one, she got 2 master's degrees. While operating from a poet's heart, Anita's true purpose is teaching. And she uses every opportunity to combine the motivation and education of others with her gift of spoken word. Her ability to engage hearts and souls and listen through the verbal expressions provided her with a life-changing opportunity at the Signature in Dayton, Ohio, for a well-known actor and poet, Malcolm Jamar Warner. Still, right? For the Cosby Show.
Yeah.
Each speaking opportunity is geared towards empowerment, enlightenment, encouragement from the mouth of one well-versed in overcoming obstacles to achieve the unfathomable. Transformation through entertainment has proven effective as hearts are open to her transparent expressions of trials, triumph, and unwavering dedication in living the greatest vision of her life. Reynoldsburg, please put your hands together for the teacher, the inspiration, the poetess, the goddess, a woman of eloquence and, what's what I'm looking for? Of eloquence and exaltation. Please help me welcome our friend, Miss Anita Amala Jones.
The most transparent space, a person with a voice.
could ever occupy is behind a microphone. Growing up, my older brother is my role model and my greatest antagonist. 3 years apart, 3 years older, 3 years younger, and I have a younger sister, so we're all 3 years apart. My brother was the first inspiration, instructor, teacher that I had in learning how to handle myself on a daily basis. However, he was also the first antagonist. And what do I mean? I had to be 5 years old, therefore he was 7 or 8, depending on when his birthday, and my younger sister was 2. I was deathly afraid of dogs. Terrified, to the point that he would put my little sister on his back. We had bunk beds. I would be on the top bunk bed. And he would, and I would be petrified. Because at 5 years old, I literally thought he was a dog. And I didn't quite understand why he chose to put my little sister on his back and antagonize me. Fast forward to now, we're in middle school going to high school. And my brother was a rapper. How many of you remember Run DMC? Back in the day?
Yeah.
So he was in the Capital City Heartbreakers. His partner's name was Phil. Their names were Run, Bill, and Phil. And so they would run, and I would watch, and I was like, I want to do that. Because if you can remember, the Run DMC was followed by Salt and Pepper. Right?
Right.
So I had my best friend, and we was going to be Salt and Pepper. And so I went to my brother, and I was like, Bill, I need you to show me how to do that. Write something for me. Here, write. And I'm going to memorize it. I'm going to say it. He said, if you must speak, you must write. I said, whoa. So I have to write my own raps? He said, yes, because how can I say what you're thinking? I said, okay. So I began to write. And I began to write consistently to determine what exactly it is that I wanted to say. And I became the writer for our group. You see, at the time, I was Madam Ice. And my partner was Miss Princess. And we were Salt and Pepper. Every day in the lunchroom, we're rapping. On street corners, we're rapping. We had the beatboxes. We were the next Salt and Pepper. Because my brother taught me how to write. Now we're going to fast forward a little bit because writing led to education and my strong desire to always excel and learn and be better, which led me to college. And my brother gave up his pen for fatigues. Then he gave up his fatigues for motorcycle gear. He became the president of Naptown Riders. And he was traveling all the time on his bike. Me, I decided, okay, you know what? I want to see what the Naptown Riders is about. I want to go to one of your cabarets. Okay, so as our Toastmaster said, Mr. Johnny said that it's a certain finesse in which I am deemed with carrying myself in. And so I stroll up to the cabaret, cute, as I wanted to be. Everyone around me had on leather and boots, and the floor, when I looked down and seen what my heels were stepping on, was muddied and dirty. Needless to say, I did not join a motorcycle club. That was not my calling. However, I understood the purpose of the motorcycle club for my brother. So I graduated from undergrad. And we was in Central Michigan University. And we drove, my entire family. And my brother said, I'll be along on my bike. He didn't show up at the beginning of the service. He didn't show up in the middle of the service. As I was walking across the stage, something told me to look up. And I seen someone at the top of the balcony in black chaps, black leather, wringing wet. See, it was a thunderstorm between Ohio and Michigan. And he drove on his bike the entire way to see his younger sister graduate from college. A blessing. So far, we've taught my brother as the antagonist, as the role model, teaching me how to speak, as well as the motorcycle congruent that decided that no matter what happens, he's going to always persevere the storm in order to get to where he needed to be. Then my brother grew locks. I used to have locks, 18 years. They were real long. I had them wrapped up as you spoke. I cut them in May, so there that was. But I used to do my brother's locks. And we would fuss because every time I got ready to do his locks, within 3 minutes, what's been up? Nothing. You good? Yeah. Phil, hold your head up. Hold your head up. So I'm fixing his locks, holding his head for the next 45 minutes, consistently. Another role that I had in my brother's life. So we have all of the things that he's done for me so far. He's taught me how to live and how to stand up for myself. Oh, I have to tell the story of how, let's go back to 7th grade. And you remember the rotary phones? With the long cord? And you remember when you called somebody and it either said, beep, to let you know there was another call coming? Or you heard, So the phone rung. We're running for it, because I had another boyfriend. And I was waiting for the call. And so I ran to the phone, and I got to the phone first. And I said, hello. And my brother came up behind me, pushed me down, snatched the phone out of my hand, and said, hello. Now, my brother taught me a lot of things. One of the things he taught me was how to fight. So with all of my energy and all of my rage, I poured out and I said, pow! And my hand connected with the phone, that connected with his lip, that connected with his tooth, and half of his tooth fell out. My brother continued consistently giving me body punches until my mother called him up. My mother was therefore pissed at me because she had a dentist bill that was not expected because I've just broken my brother's tooth over a telephone. So you understand the antagonistic and the leadership role that my brother played in my life. The greatest lesson and the most difficult lesson that I had to experience was on January the 9th, 2017, when my brother died unexpectedly. I was forced into the position of being the oldest child. His death crumbled my mother. She was his only son. She was his oldest. And she could not cope in his absence. And so I, as the older sister, had to fill in the gap. From picking out his suit, to making sure he was dressed, to arranging the funeral, to doing the programs, to locking his hair of his corpse. I remember locking in the middle of his hair and saying, I bet your ass got your head still now. Because I had to make myself, help myself get through it. And so I had to ensure I could hear him saying, sis, don't have me in that casket looking crazy. You know what makes sure I'm right. Now the pastor of the church that gave the eulogy, or supposedly gave the eulogy, didn't really know my brother. So 1,500 people, over 1,500 people showed up to my brother's funeral from all over the country. And I'm standing there saying, what do I do? Do I allow a pastor to say something that does not know my brother? Or do I step up? And I sent a message to the chambers and said, I'll be doing my brother's eulogy. And I stood up before 1,500 people and had the hardest table topic you could ever imagine. Because I didn't write a single thing down. But I knew my brother. So the only thing I could do was speak about my brother and his life. That was my yesterday. When I say that it crumbled my mother 130 days after my mother's death, my mother died. Because she could not handle living without my brother. That was 2017. That was my yesterday. This is the end of 2018. This has been the most difficult season for me. It is hard to breathe at times. To have a whole snatched out of you. My family consisted of 4 people. That's 2 have gone in less than 6 months. How do you bounce back from that? What is the answer? Who do you go to when the protector, the leader, is gone? You wonder why I tell this story. It's because of Toastmasters. Toastmasters allows me to package my grief in 4 to 6 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes, 15 to 20 minute segments, so that I can help heal others. If I cannot have the moment to step out of my real life and share with you my yesterday, then who does it help? Does it benefit anyone for me to sit in the house and cry all day? Does it help anyone for me to not share what Toastmasters has done for me? See, it's not about a membership for me. This is an opportunity for me to help someone else get to that point in their life when they can look back on their yesterdays, pick out the lessons and the wisdoms and the situations that create a bouquet to present to you today. Because today is going to determine how you reflect tomorrow. So I ask you, Toastmasters, I don't see any guests here besides myself. One conversation about a group of people who are leading and guiding and instilling in people a chance to breathe. Is it your neighbor? Is it your cousin? Is it your husband? Is it your husband or your wife? Who's sitting at home looking for an outlet? But we in here eating pizza. And we have extra because we haven't opened our mouths and invited them to come. Toastmasters has changed my life. I would have never been able to get up before 1,500 people and talk off the top of my head had Toastmasters not taught me how to breathe. I would not be able to stand before you today, emotional as it is, and be able to show my emotion, but rein it in. Because Toastmasters is a place where leaders are made. So when you're looking at who is the next leader, who can reflect your yesterday, who is responsible for your today, and who will you affect for tomorrow? Look in the mirror and ask yourself, what has Toastmasters done for you? And what are you willing to do for Toastmasters? Master Toastmaster.